folks. Whoopsie. Oh my goodness. Welcome to And the Backdrop's Off. Still, I am so sorry, guys. It's been one heck of a night for technical difficulties, I tell you that. Okay then. This is going to be fun tonight, huh? All right. So, thank you all for tuning in to another edition of the Tuesday Night Talks. I appreciate you all, and I am so sorry that we got started late. Been having a lot of tech difficulties over here, maybe from the cold. So today I kind of jumped over the one I was going to do about vision boards. That's going to be next week. And today I want to do one about a steal your spouse spell and basically tips on how to break it, simply because I recently had a client come to me with this issue, and I won't mention name, gender, anything like that, but this person was receiving a lot of jealousy, and a group of folks tagged this person with a negative body image, extreme negative body image, working, and then went after this person's spouse, basically attempting to break up the family just because they wanted the spouse. A lot of jealousy of the achievements, accomplishments, stuff like that. And I always find this laughable because these people don't understand what it took to get there, what goes on behind the scenes. And I happen to know this couple, and I know how much they've been through, especially on the spouse that was trying to be stolen side of things. They have not been a great person, but they're working toward a better place. But yeah, so I wanted to put it up there, and I just realized, Valentine's Day is coming up. Maybe everybody's lonely, but what you see is not always what you get. Don't judge a book by the cover. And also, I want to give people some protection and tips to break that. Now, Antoinette from Spiral Healing Energies, she did the working for my client, and she did a fantastic job. So she gave me some tips to bring to you, and I'm also really excited. We have Tessa from Emerald Dahlia on, and she is an ordained Wiccan priestess, so she's got some spells and everything like that to help keep you and your loved ones and your family safe, I guess around Valentine's Day. Anyway, without further ado, I'm going to bring Tessa on, and then I will give what Antoinette gave me notes on. She is not going to be available. She is working currently. She's doing some Reiki. So anyways, here we go. Hi, Tessa.
Hello.
Hi, love your shirt.
Thank you.
Now, did you hear what happened and why I kind of jumped this ahead of everything?
I was listening to it, yes, and I heard about the couple or relationship that you were speaking. Yes.
It's really sad too, because they're trying to fight their way back to a better place, and whoever's doing this doesn't understand it. One, the spouse, the second they do something like that, they're immediately off the map. But two, you're only seeing one side of things,
Okay, well, my first instinct is do they know who did it?
Not quite. And that's one of the other things. A lot of this stuff is more amorphous.
Well, usually, see, when they announce that they've casted a love spell on somebody, that usually breaks it, okay? Announcing your intentions usually breaks whatever negative thing you've got a hold on somebody. The other thing is return to sender. And that's one thing I would do right off the bat here.
This was not announced. This was found out. Whoever did this was being very stealthy about it. They wanted it to work, hon.
I know, and that's why they haven't announced their intentions. I get it. And that's why I said if they have suspicions and they figured out who it is, then that's where definitely use that to their advantage, if it is them.
Well, and Antoinette and I already solved it, but I realized this is actually going to be an issue because I've had it done with Dennis and I before, and we're just like, really? I think it's the most ridiculous thing in the world.
See, I'm not myself either, so I don't really. I know that there have been jealous lovers and things that I've encountered in my spellcraft and all that, but I've never been one to even cast love spells. To be honest, I feel like they're personal gain. I feel like it's inauthentic unless it's self-love.
Well, love spells are actually dark magic because you're
Yeah.
overriding the will of another person.
Okay.
But my thing is, it's ridiculous because whoever's meant for you is coming.
Exactly.
Each one have somebody meant for us, and that but whatever. So I'm going to run through real quick because they did a whammy. They attempted to do a whammy on my client. Negative body image issues. I mean, like way out of proportion. Okay. And then the whole steal the spouse thing. And it was all due to jealousy. And it's like, really? So anyway, here was what Antoinette gave me. For the layperson, this is coming from the energy work side of things. She said, and she would have loved to be here, but she is currently doing some Reiki jobs right now. So, hey, okay. So on the negative body image work spell, whatever you want to call it, what she said is always ask, where is this coming from? Is this truly my energy? If not, return to sender, or even better. And one of the things you got to do, apparently, according to her, and this is from her, not from me, she's like, you got to forgive the person right off the bat with all this stuff. Forgive it, because that way you don't hold on to those ties. It's immediately cut.
Yep.
But
like cord cutting, that's kind of like the cord cutting ritual in a way.
Okay, yeah. And then she was like, but also what you actually really want to do, get into a meditative state, and you can ask your guides, angels, ancestors for help with this, but you want to get into a meditative state and ask for it to be dissolved. That way it doesn't harm anyone. It doesn't go to anyone. It's gone. It disintegrates. She said with the steal the spouse thing, you have to drop down into a meditative state or even just speak out loud. Guides, ancestors, angels, any deity that you feel you can trust and work with, and say, look, I need you to take this and make sure it doesn't harm anyone. And then
guides, angels, ancestors, you invoke them. They protect your space. They protect your surroundings.
Let me finish. Hold on, Gemini. And then what you have to do is send the negative intention back to the sender. You don't have to multiply it because the universe will take care of it. But forgive them, send the negative intention back, and take the spell and ask for it to be taken. Then with the jealousy part of it, because, everybody knows evil eye, stuff like that. When somebody's jealous or envious of you, if they are good enough at it, they can manifest problems in your life. So again, she said, meditate, get into a meditative state, ask your guides, angels, ancestors, deity, whoever you can trust, to not only take the energy, but to give this person something to keep them busy. That way they can't hurt you or anyone else. And that was a big one. She's like, you got to forgive, and then you got to make sure, ask to have it taken up and disintegrated so as it harms no one. Send their intentions back to them, but make sure if they're jealous or envious of you, that they have something else to do. And you can ask Spirit to help with that, because Spirit will be like, no problem. But also make sure there's no harm to anyone. That's a big one, because it can get really dicey when people are playing with that kind of intention and that kind of dark work, because it is dark work.
What ye will, but harm none. That's what the Wiccan phrase is, as we're. That's how I do it. Very much white witch.
For me, I am just amazed that anybody would do it. I'm always shocked. I mean, I've dealt with it before, but I'm always weirded out, because it's like, why? There's no point.
Yeah, but, in a lot of ways, but some people are very spiteful, and some of them are working with negative forces and negative deities. So that's what they follow, and that's who they serve at their core, in the occult. And that's how it goes. You can't have one without the other in this whole scheme of things.
Very true.
Unfortunately.
Dawn and Larson. Hey Dawn, thanks for tuning in. All right. Tessa, go ahead. You tell us some of the ways that you would do it through spell work, everything like that, because, yeah.
Okay, well, when I'm working with beginner witches, as I were saying, or you can say you're online, they call them baby witches on TikTok.
God, no.
Though I don't like the phrase because you're not really a baby. But usually I tell them to begin with knowing who they are and knowing thyself, because what works for one witch isn't necessarily going to work for another witch.
Okay.
Not necessarily what I do, is going to work for that other witch, because some of the things are herb related and maybe they're an earth sign, and I'm a fire or I'm an air and I work in, okay? So these are things that are going to clash. So these are things that might work for one witch that won't work for another. It's a trial.
Hon, you're cutting in and out.
I'm sorry. Can you hear me now?
Yeah. But it's like you're going really high and then muting, going really high, then muting. Tech issues, I know, but.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, I'm just going to sit forward here. I'm sorry, I kept moving away from the screen. The other end of this is what works for one witch isn't only going to work isn't going to work for another witch. Okay, and that's the beginning there. And the other end of this is I say, start studying defense magic. Learn to protect your threshold. Learn to set up an altar for your ancestors, guides, guardians, or whatever deity you work with. That's your first line of defense in the home. That's the first line of defense in any kind of spell. It's going to keep people from coming into your home unwelcome. It's going to keep things from following you home. Okay? It's going to keep you from attachments, negative attachments like the evil eye, such as negative love spells and things like that. It's going to keep you from bringing home cryptids, because you can guard a door. You can have a home guardian. That's another thing you can have for protection. I have my cat, which is right above my head, but you can't see it.
Right.
Found a cat skull back last fall when I was walking around downtown, of all places. Places you don't expect to find bones. Yeah. And it was on the church grounds, too. One of the churches. Wow. Yeah. And that was right before I did the Lefties live venue, which is nice. So I kind of felt a thing, and I sent my mom a picture. I'm like, I've never been given bones. What do I do with these? She said, take them home, honor it, and then make it a home guardian. And I said, okay, yes, that makes sense. Because it's an extravagant gift from spirit. So these are things that you don't overlook. Again, working with your ancestors.
Just a quick recap. You say make a sacred space in your home. He's adorable. Go ahead.
Yeah. He's playing with a bag. Like a mojo bag satchel. Which is another technique you can use for protection as well.
Okay.
Mojo. Sachet. Satchel. Whatever you want.
Okay. All right. So, and then get some sort of home guardian. A lot of them do come with a home.
Yes, and you can invoke and invite those spirits to protect your home. Some places do have natural spirits that already dwell there, and elementals and things. If you're Native American, work with them. I would advise. It's just whatever your beliefs are.
Okay. Okay. So how would you, through spell work, go about breaking a steal your spouse spell or a love spell or what have you?
Well, first of all, let's see here. My first thing would be, this advises there are a number of deities and things that you can evoke in regards to deflecting things and protection and things like that. And I would advise finding one of those deities that you are drawn to.
Okay.
That with you and help empower whatever you're choosing to do in your next move forward. And whatever. My next thing is I would do things in relation to. Yes, thank you. I would do things in relation to Yeah, there you go, buddy. Go play. Go take it to your room. Excuse my son.
No worries.
I would take in regards to that. Okay, I said something about deities.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry.
No worries. Now, Wade, he couldn't be on this cast. He's just not feeling up to it. He's under the weather right now. But he did mention cloves for boundaries and relationship spells.
Clothes?
Cloves.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. You can do veils, which you can take different items and things. Like you can take a bandana, for example, and put a sigil on the other side of it. You can take tags on the back of your clothing and write a sigil on them, or you can do a rune. You're more into runes.
Okay.
You can do other. There are other add to those things too.
You're fading in and out again, babe.
I'm sorry. I said you can take sigils or runes or whatnot. You can put them on the back of your tag on the inside of your. You can put them underneath like hair accessories.
Mm-hmm.
People make scrunchies that have like evil eye protection on them.
Mm-hmm.
And besides jewelry, which those are amulets, you can also do that for protection as well. Those are things you can carry with you.
Okay.
I would advise those kind of things. That's called veiling, is what that's called.
Okay. Interesting. Okay. So now the body image, the severe body image problems. Thoughts on that kind of spell work? What kind of spell work would that be? And then also how to break it.
I would guess that it's probably more like a mirror spell. You can do something like that in regards to it. Honey. Yeah, that's mommy's books. This is mommy's special book. And I don't want to give him one that he's gonna rip up. Hold on just a minute.
Don't worry about it. You're fine, hon. Oh my goodness.
Yes, and we'll get you a book, okay? We'll get you a book. Just a minute. Hey, let's go get you one of your books. Yeah, in there.
Ozzy's a great little guy. He is absolutely awesome. And also, my God, it is so much colder this January. I feel like I'm never, ever going to warm up.
All right, I'm back. Sorry about that. I brought another. This right here is what's called a black mirror, and it's used for
fading out, babe.
Sorry, this is what's called a black mirror in the occult. Some people use it for scrying and divination. Others can use it for other magic.
Yep.
Now, the way I made this was I took glass, and put black salt on the other side of it, and I cut with I first painted the glass, and then I took the black salt underneath, and I coated it there just to kind of solidify together.
Okay.
It's anointed and it's blessed, and it's got my black salt to protect me when I use it. But I can use it in other forms of magic. So basically, you can reverse that that negative thought process that's been reflected upon you when you do the mirror spell. Okay. And that's how I would handle it. But
you would actually use a black mirror to reverse it? Interesting. Yes. Now, what if you don't know the name of the party that does this?
See, negative thought process is something that you can ask your guides and guardians and things to help reverse. And it's a body image and things like that. Once you release and you return it, once you ask somebody that can help you, the universe is conscious. It hears us when we do these things, when we set these intentions to reverse something. And I feel that's what she needs to declare. She needs to take her power back. She needs to, and I think that that's the other part of it. Once we ask for the ancestors, the guides, and the guardians to step in,
Mm-hmm.
and they're going to pick up whatever's in between. You see,
Okay.
and this is why I have protection on the mirror.
Okay.
Just to keep anything negative from coming through.
Yep.
And this is kind of, that's why it goes hand in hand. The protection goes hand in hand when you're working with magic.
Yeah. And
So,
I like that you said that. The protection goes hand in hand when you're working with magic. You're one of the few people that I've heard put it like that. I like that. And yes, you are very correct. Okay. So we've covered that. We've covered the jealousy. We've covered the steal your spouse. Are there any other tips, anything like that? Basically, just keeping yourself safe from love spells and idiotic stuff like that.
well, like I said, there are things that you can carry with you continuing forth with that. You can have sachets that have herbs and things like that in regards to love spells and love magic and love attraction. You can have sachets that are for banishment. And
Okay.
that's another thing I would recommend in regards to keeping anybody from performing anything on you, regardless of what type of spell it is. I would do a banishment sachet of some sort, or something that is along those lines.
What
Or you
would
could
you put in it?
Oh, there's a lot here. Hold on here.
Have you ever done one for yourself or for a client? And if so, what did you put in that?
Management. Number one, I would put in there black salt.
Okay.
And usually that is a personal mixture that I make. It is a mixture of eggshells and my incense remnants that I've used from my dedication to my ancestors and other spell work I've done.
Sorry, it's not you. I'm just super tired.
Okay. All good. I was making sure you could hear me. But yeah, I would make sure that it's got a remnants of that from whatever I've done from altar work and things like that. Sometimes it's got candle wax from whatever I've done a spell or if I've done a cord cutting ritual of some sort. And that's another thing that we can get into in regards to cutting that connection with whatever spells out there. You can also take crystals and do cord cutting as well. You can take your selenite, some wands,
Yep.
And you can cut cords with that. Your Reiki is another for that. It goes on and on and on. There's a lot of things you can do.
But what have you personally done, if any of the work, and then what have you done for your clients that would work?
Well, honestly, I haven't.
And also, you're going to be at the Donuts and Divination event, right?
The other thing is that I was going to say spell bottles. Usually, you can get small ones and they're pocket size, and they can fit in your purse, or they can fit, in your pocket.
I actually sell them at the shop.
And then, well, you've got your larger bottles, your jars, your mason jars. Everybody uses. But your witch's bottle is another form of protection, and it's something that has been carried down generation to generations. I tell people they find a bottle in their wall in an old house, don't drink it. Because it's probably somebody's bile in there. It's probably got somebody's urine. It's probably got something personal to that witch in there, and there are lots of things you can put in a witch's bottle.
Right.
And it's something that is personal to the witch. And that's why it's got things that are biologically connected to that witch, okay? Or that spellcaster, male or female. But that's the other thing is sometimes it's got things like, for example, I save whiskers for my cats because they're my. I save their claws because when you're doing a management or to get rid of a hex or a protection spell jar, you want to fight with claws. I do think, let's see here, rusty nails, rusty screws. You can find those in there. These are things that protect. They're different things that you can put in there. Various other things aside from that.
This sounds a lot like a honey jar from Hoodoo or Voodoo.
Yes, and they are. It's very much. It's all connected, honey. It is. It's like I have natural honey up there too, and there is honey magic as well that people use.
Right, to sweeten things up, sugar and honey, vinegar if you want to drive something away, and then what is it? The honey jars. broken glass, nails, everything, urine goes in there, even like menstrual blood and stuff. I remember a client came to the shop looking for one of those, and I'm like, I don't carry that pre-made, but I can put you in touch with somebody, and you would have to do a lot of the work, you know.
I have done one personally with a coven, and we buried it in her yard back then, and I don't think she's ever buried it back up again. But I think it's still in that yard, and it's somewhere. So, which I won't specify, but it was young teenager spell work.
Oh my, okay.
I'm doing it 40 now, so yeah, yeah.
I was gonna say, you're gonna be at the Donuts and Divination event this weekend, yes?
Yes, ma'am.
Would you be able to make up some banishment bags or something if you could do it easy enough so you could have a couple there, maybe 2 or 3, just in case anybody wants them? That's kind of why I jumped this program ahead, because if this is going to be a problem, then, you know, people might want to know how to dispel it.
I will teach you one that is actually my grandpa's spell. Grandpa Johnny used to do one that's called, it's a wallet spell is what it is.
A what?
It's a wallet spell. It's a piece of paper. You can fold it up, or you can take a bay leaf if you would prefer. But you can take the piece of paper and you take a black marker. Okay, you got white piece of paper, black marker. Okay, and then you take and you write their name and your name. Okay, and the idea is to box them in with all arrows around their, and have one that connects, you know, the one that's pointing towards them goes the other direction to you, but it's meant to be all outward facing arrows in regards around your name. Okay, and then you fold that up and you put it in your wallet, and what it does is it sends it back to them. It's a return to sender. But
that only works if you know who's doing it.
Yes. That's one of which, but I can teach them how to do that while I'm sitting there. Okay. That's one I can teach them. Let me get to the drawing board and I can get back to you, but I can probably do something simple. But I don't have bags. That would be something. Oh, I have spell bottles. I have a whole bunch of tiny spell bottles.
Okay. I was going to say, but particularly, you know, do a little thing on them and just be like, hey, this is what they're for. Valentine's Day is coming up. Make sure nobody takes what's yours.
Oh, yeah, I'll do the little spell jars I've got. I've got like a dozen of them in there. But yes, and I'll take some of my personal black salt. I've got a whole huge thing of it saved.
Okay. Because I mean, I don't know. This might be a one-off, but I kind of doubt it.
Yeah.
Normally when stuff lands at my door, it's by the way, you need to cover this topic and you need to be well versed on it. Pop.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's usually telling you that you need to arm the people that are around you with this knowledge. Yep. Kind of. Usually, if it's spirit says, "Hey, you know, pay attention to this," you know, it's usually for a reason.
No, when I was doing readings, people would walk in my door, and they would have a problem, right? And I'd be like, oh, "Okay, we do this. And all of a sudden, here comes 2, 3, 4, 5. You know, basically, you get a practice run, and then you get to test it out. You know.
He's counting with you, trying to count with you.
Nice. Good job, Ozzy. But no, so basically if one walks in my door, I'm like, you know what? I better just put this out there. Yeah. Scared them, you know. Hi, Ozzy.
Nap today.
Gosh, I could use a nap myself. I will probably take one after I get off this call. So I'm actually going to keep this short. So in closing, is there anything you want to say on it? Anything you want to bring up? For the average person that does not do spell work, anything like that.
Yeah. Well, in regards to what you were saying earlier about karmatic partners and karma, and in regards to love spells in general, you do have a contract out there, and you do have somebody else that you were assigned to before you were born to meet up with. And I would naturally let. He's got his little microphone.
And you also have, honestly, if you think about the soulmates idea, you have multiple people sometimes that you're supposed to get with, and you guys teach each other lessons. So you're actually short-circuiting all of that by trying to take somebody else's. And then there's a whole long thing about that too.
Well, see, and that's why I'm saying you have what's called a twin flame, or you have soulmates in life. Usually twin flames is a profound connection. And in regards to your soulmate energy, those are people that are your friends, your confidants, the ones that are closest to you as well. And sometimes those are lovers as well. And then the other end of this is you've got people that are competing, and that's why it's called a karmatic partner. Partners are usually the ones that are jealous or envious. Usually you came here to learn a lesson from them of some sort. That's why it's happening. That's why they're doing what they're doing. So
let your mama talk. She's saying something important.
They're all the thing is I say every soul has free will. And that's where it comes back into hold on. Go. I have been nice, as I have to ask you again. You will have trouble.
Oh, poor mom. I know that pain. But they are little lumps of exuberant joy. So, never getting a word in edgewise is very much a small price to pay for the absolute little bundle of joy that they are. They're groovy green lamps. I like those. Okay, I'm getting a message here. Ooh la la. For whatever reason, I think it's because I was out in the cold today. My skin just won't quit itching on my face. Oh, I think the cold just dried me out. I don't know about you guys, but I was out running errands all day, and goodness gracious, it was steeply and severely cold.
Okay.
Don't worry, we're going to be wrapping up pretty fast.
Okay. I gave him a bar, so maybe that'll keep his mouth full.
Yeah, don't count on it. Be quick.
I know, he'll be quick. I know he will. But, it was worth a try.
I know. No, I know. All right, so karmatic partners, soulmate, your soulmates are your teachers. You've got all these relationships that you're supposed to fulfill. You cannot short circuit that. Well, I mean, you can, but it's just going to be worse next lifetime around. So, Well,
and that's why you have to look at your chart, and you have to look at your astrology, because you need to be in alignment with your ascendant sign or your rising sign, because that's in alignment with your highest good, your soul's potential. That's how you unlock those things. That's how you level up. That's how you attract good things in abundance. That's how you attract that partner, that ideal mate. These are things that you need to be aware of. And this is how you live out your soul journey. This is how you live out your purpose, your higher purpose. And that's what I tell my clients as well. So
I've always been of the theory that it will just happen when it's meant to happen. When you guys are in the place to have it happen. You guys have to grow and do what you need to do.
And that's why it's important to do your shadow work and to go and focus making yourself the best version of who you came to be, Mm-hmm. If you are a positive person, unlike the person that's casted on you guys. If you don't positive magic, then that's different.
Oh my God, no. It's no, I found out a couple of times, and it's happened more than once on Dennis and I, and I'm just like, really? And Dennis is like, really? You know, and I'm just like, eh. No, there was actually a lady that I helped. I gave her a lot of help, and she repaid me by trying to hit on Dennis. Oh no, she went hard, and I was just like, because my guides had told me, they're like, you're gonna have to help her. I'm like, okay, you're gonna regret it, but you have to help her. I'm like, so yeah, it was a learning experience though.
This is kind of the analogy my grandpa used to say about my mom.
Okay.
And you can fall into a barrel of slop and come out covered in diamonds. It's all on how you look at it here, and it's all in. Karma doesn't keep score. It's not a scoring process. That's why you have to do and operate with your fullest potential, at your highest good, because the integrity is what matters. And don't worry about the points, because karma is doing it for us. Okay. You know what I mean? It's already the universe operates on patterns and numbers and things. That's why numerology is important. That's why you'll find it in nature. The universe has all these laws, and they're already in place. They're already a part of the construct. Okay. So, that's why I'm saying you have to let God do it. That's why you give it back to the universe. That's why you return and you ask the universe for help. That's why you ask your guides for help, because it's conscious. It hears us and it responds. It answers. That's why prayer is important. That's why those people do that, and it works. And again, it goes back to surrendering. Have your God moment. Your come to Jesus moment. Jesus moment. Whatever you want to call it. I mean, to each their own. Hello, ma'am. This is Evie.
Ooh, kitty.
This is my baby. My familiar. Oh. And here comes a toddler. She got scared.
All right, my darling. Well, I am going to go ahead and cut this. What?
She helps.
Okay. I was going to say, I'm going to go ahead and end this because I am going to pass out on the keyboard if I don't.
All good. I appreciate having our little chat.
Well, and thank you for coming on short notice. I appreciate it.
If they have any questions, they can always come to me. I tell all the people that come to me in regards to divination that they can connect with my page, and that witchy questions are always free. I mean,
okay. You put your information up, okay? We're speaking with Tessa of Emerald Dahlia. Please put your information up. Do you have like a card or something you can put on screen? All right, there we go. Put it right on the screen, babe. Get it close. Okay. Back up a little bit. Back up. Just there. Boom. You're good. Okay, guys. So this is how you reach her. If you got witchy questions, anything like that, want to book a reading, anything like that, or if you need a banishment bag, because somebody's after your man, woman, what have you, there you go. You guys know where to go.
Page. You can reach out to my Instagram page. I have a TikTok page. I'm on just about every platform, but I go by Emerald Dahlia, and then again, it's emerald.dahlia@gmail.com.
Okay. And you guys, if you can't find her on any of that, you can reach out to the store and we'll put you in touch with her.
That'll work too.
Now, also, if any of y'all want to reach out to Antoinette of Spiral Healing Energies because you got a case, that girl works more than anything, and she's always happy to take a case. So, both of them will be available. Call the shop. We'll put you in touch. All right, my dear.
Have a good night, honey.
Bye. You too. Bye, Irene.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
We don't point.
Right. You guys have a good night.
Bye-bye.
All right, y'all. Thanks so much for hanging with us tonight. I appreciate it. Like, comment, subscribe. And if you have a question for a Tuesday Night Talk episode, you let me know in the comments and I will 100% cover it. If I can't find an expert and I know about the subject, awesome. If you have an expert in mind you'd like me to talk to, let me know. Now, this episode will be airing on Des Moines New Age Radio on Spotify, so go and check us out. The link is in the description. If you cannot get the link to work, then, sorry, had to close the link off with Tessa. If you can't get the link to work for the Spotify, just message me and boom, I'll get you a new link. All right. Love y'all. Mwah. Have a great night. Hopefully see you tomorrow night for Gem Talks and then see you on the Psychic Roundtable on Thursday. And remember, guys, we're having the Donuts and Divination Fair this weekend at the shop. All right. Love y'all. Mwah. And I am out.